And here's another one of those kind of recordings, One of the recordings whereas, there's so many different subjects to touch on, that I make them every now and then. Well, I don't really have a particular subject. It's just like life right now, man. It's weird. And primarily I wanted to speak on how, the situation, I talked about it in a recent recording briefly, how I'm getting more and more attention, but, nothing being, like, I'm getting so much attention behind the crime proven that's still open and ongoing, and I'm getting more and more attention for the suffering that I have suffered, wrongfully from this crime or this evil or whatever, but yet nobody who the structures or anybody blamed, is facing any justice. It's like nothing really changes about the situation, but my life is like I'm getting additional, like an additional, helping of exile, things. Now, I've been talking about this, all of this, way before 2020 ever came, and I was getting defamed and slandered and all this, as we know now, but I was replying, with facts the whole time, you see a darker. I just feel like, there's so many ways to look at this, because I should have a lot more help, from, some, put it like that, for one, I'm Eli, for one. And, if anybody look and see, how outnumbered and how resourced I've been for so long, trying to protect my ministry and my legacy, and my creations, my artistic creation. That's the only thing it's always been about for me, the protection of my, the things I create with my hands. And, the people try to like swindle from me by lying on me and things, trying to, replace, replace, I guess, the Lord, it's attacking his work. And, that leads me to say another thing. This whole concept of this style battle, I think it's, safe. Like, now is the time pretty much where all that can just be deaded, and killed. Like as far as their style battles and all of this stuff, I can tell you why that's not even a factor. Because if you pay attention, for example, the beast, the beast or the false prophet, or that antichrist, or, that guy who tried to replace the Lord and tried to replace Elijah, same thing, it's for the God's purpose. But the beast, for instance, if you pay attention, and this is how, like, most people don't really understand how, something like this can happen, as far as like, how, people tried to like force me in other people's, like they tried to force Eli to be in the shadow of false prophets and things like that. And I can explain, like, how that is, how that happens. And of course, we looking at the physical side of it, there's high level, technology, high level strategies of, of control and things like that, submission, and trying to like edit, a person remotely and edit their, their character and things remotely, trying to mold, because, while people are malleable, things, it's a lot that go into it in the physical realm. But I'm looking at it, let's say, on the spiritual realm, what's going on. Because if you really notice that, see, in the spiritual, just like, for instance, Elijah is, of course, is a person, but it's also an office. You feel me? It's like a prophetic office. You know what I'm saying? It's like a spiritual position. You feel me? It's not just a person. Elijah is a spiritual position, you know, and it's appealing outside looking in until you actually is. And see, this is the thing. It's like, that's mainly what these beasts, you know what I'm saying, the dragons and stuff was really aiming for. That position. You feel me? They wanted that position. And the way that they tried to do, one of the ways, like, it's a crime of the century, was, you know, it's like these people, like, you know, they turned themselves into, like, you know, an image pretty much, you know, and they edited their own image. They created, you know, their idea of whatever, you know, peculiarity or whatever, you know, whatever, I guess just who they were or whatever. But whoever they were, you know what I'm saying, they sought to put their, like, immortalize their image, you know what I'm saying, dress it up, perfect it, whatever, something to be worshipped. It's just like in the Old Testament when somebody is, you know, like back in the day when they used to get gold, melt down gold and create these idols, like made out of, like, animals made out of gold and things. They used to worship them. That's the same kind of situation. They polish it up, chip it, you know what I'm saying, smooth it down, all of that. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? They, people that polished up images of things for people to worship. And what it is they, you know, indirectly, informally, you know, trying to, like, attach that to, you know, the office of Elijah without outwardly saying it. And, you know, you can see how offensive that was to God, because it's a holy, you know what I'm saying, anything with God is of holy, you know, and it's for God, you know, it's to glorify God, you feel me? And that's what the office of you know, Eli is. And see, one of the things is they created, you know, these idols and things, and they attached, you know what I'm saying? And what it is they attach various things to themselves while they attach the image, you know what I'm saying, to the office of Elijah. So when everybody looks, you know, people that don't know, uneducated, you know, misled like lost sheep or things, when they see, you know what I'm saying, they think, wow, you know what I'm saying, worship the image, because there's something about it, you know what I'm saying, that reminds you of, I guess, you know, kind of like God. And the reason that is because the office of Elijah belongs to God. You know what I'm saying? It's something that God created. You know what I'm saying? So when these people tried to, like, do that, you know, glue themselves to the office of Elijah, you know what I'm saying, it you know, it misled, deceived people. You feel me? The great deception. You feel me? Because they was thinking one thing, and then they got something different. You know what I'm saying? And what they got was not of God. And it's happened at different beasts. It's been several different beasts. And deception is how, you know, the devil gained power and control from way back to now. You feel me? That's what it was, deception. And, you know, when it comes to this, you know, these artistic, you know, especially dealing with words and linguistics and things like that, I mean, I want to break it down pretty much, because that's what it is. You have some people, you know, like, say, for instance, you know, just like say if somebody was building a house or something. Okay, say if Beast was building a house. Okay, say if they, and I ain't talking about with no art using Elijah's brand or nothing like that. I'm talking about, you know, just say if just random, you know what I'm saying, just regular building an old house. Okay, now say if the Beast, you know, build a house, and say if wherever he built a house, there was no houses there. You feel me? Like, it was no, like, you know, he had, like, it was a budget. You know, he had a budget larger than anybody's budget that was there. You feel me? In that area. And so he was told to build a house, you know. And what it is, okay, so he was told by the devil to build a house, or, you know, people that followed the devil or whatever. So he built a house, and, you know, the house is unique. Yeah, I said, put it like that, eccentric. And, you know, it's different than whatever else was around there. You feel me? So he built this house, and he just, you know, just keep attaching stuff on it, like things that don't even got to be there. You know, just things that, and you know, like if an average person walk by and they see that house, then it's gonna stick out to them because they haven't seen anything like it. Not because it's good, you feel me, but because they're not used to it. And so that's what it is. Just like, so say if, you know, you see okay, they build this house, and after they build a house or finish the house, you know what I'm saying, they try to build more houses that look like that thing or whatever. But pretty much the house is from that person's imagination. You know what I'm saying? Now, the house could have been inspired by Satan, you know, whatever. But the thing is, when they complete the house, they get flyers of the house, hang them all around town, put them up everywhere. Talk good. You know what I'm saying? Gather some people. You know what I'm saying? Gather some people. Say, hey, this house right here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just say whatever. Soothsaying. You know, type junk. You feel me? Just smooth, like deception, whatever. Say whatever. Gather a big crowd of this house. You know, a person, a people. You know, they hype up the house. They make it what their idea of great. You feel me? So they get this house. You feel me? And then they just promote the heck out of it. You know, like over promote it. Like, you know, this one house everywhere, to the point where, you know, and then they know what it looking like it do. Then nobody ain't really, you know, it's different than what anybody's used to. But I mean, it's a house. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So, say if somebody else, you know, build a house, you know what I'm saying, and their house is eccentric, you know what I'm saying, their house is different and it's unique, you know, roughly the same, you know, I mean, it's made out of similar, I mean, you know, like it's a house that's in the same society, you feel me? But it's not the same as that house. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? It's in the same society. That's the only common ground. Now, if you're looking at these houses, and they both different, and it's something that nobody, you know, really used to. You know, so it's like, why does this house that this person hypes up, and this other person that builds a house doesn't hype it up? You feel me? They don't hype it up. You know what I'm saying? They do everything the traditional way, like they just they don't hype up the house, you know, they just put their heart into it, you know, and trying to make it look good, you know, for themselves and for the things they believe in, you know. You feel me? So, who's to say, you know, that why is that house that was hyped all up better than a house that ain't hyped up? You know? Like, who, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? And the thing is, with the house that got hyped up, if anybody don't like the house, you know what I'm saying? Well, the crowd becomes hostile, you know what I'm saying, about it, because they've been invested so much into this house now. They got pictures of it everywhere, flyers of it everywhere, posters, you know what I'm saying? They've made this house into an idol. You feel me? Like, this house is the house of, you know, all houses. You know what I'm saying? All that. You know what I'm saying? So the people that was gathered up, you know what I'm saying, they started to turn a house into a religion. You feel me? They turned the house into a religion, you know, because of how, you know, and then it just was like continue. You know, it picked up and carry on. Then they spread it out. The word about the house, you know what I'm saying? Just spread it out. It's the house on the face of all real estates now. You feel me? But not because, you feel me? Because of violence. You know what I'm saying? Somebody took, the Bible says, kingdom of heaven, the violent take it by force. You know? So this house, you know, becomes, you know, whatever. And anybody who don't like the house, they strange. You feel me? So the beast, you know, create like architecture, you know what I'm saying? Certain types of like you know, like a code, you feel me? Like a code that it guided itself by, that it represents the height of all human, you know, I don't want to say ingenuity, for lack of a better word, but like all human altitude, capacity, or whatever. Just, you know, it's a branch of that type of thing. All fleshly, physical things, the consummation of how far it can get in life, you know. And so the beast, you know, creates this code and hypes it up a whole lot, you know, different beasts. And it's the same code, but it's several different beasts. You feel me? Like, it's like something that is something that makes it easier, you know, for anybody who don't love God to dominate everybody who does. You know what I'm saying? That's the battle since the garden. Good versus evil. You know what I'm saying? So this beast creates, you know, beasts, they create this code, you know, and like this set pattern of whatever, like a mathematical type situation thing. And they use that code to, you know, they tried to turn it into a foundation. You feel me? This code situation where they can build from it. Now, everybody know that God's word is the only foundation, because God is God, you know. That's the only foundation. Anything else, you can't build another foundation. That's false, you know, true. So God, the things God tells about is, the things in the Bible and God's word is about life. That's the foundation for those who want to live, like, go meaning eternal life, get to heaven, you know. The things or the foundation that the beast was building, you know, is contrary to, you know, we know God is life. So, what does that lead devil? And what does that lead the beast? And the beast is codes and things, you know. And so what it is this algorithm or whatever, if you you know, for lack of a better word, whatever, is what it used to, you know, try to, like I said, dictate, you know, the course of life for any and everything that's not, you know, bounded, you know, or guided by the way it thinks life is supposed to be in the earth. You feel me? So it's a way to even, you know, even forcefully, you know, force everything into the route, which would lead to, you know, worship, you feel me, of this image. Remember the image? You feel me? Ultimately, you know, it's ultimately gonna lead to that. Because if you believe in the algorithm that the beasts create, you know, which is also what Satan create, then it's gonna lead to the worship of the idols, the image, also created by the beast. You know? And so, you know, Eli and the Lord are things of God contrary to the beast. Meaning they're standing on the foundation that's of the light. You know. This, you know, contentions of things, artistic, you know, contentions of things, all that is deaded by the fact that, you know, I've explained it, broke it down by so many different angles. I tackled the subject in so many different angles, ways, all this. Everything from the torture, you know, I call it unique torture tech, all the way to just the constant onslaught of unprovoked violence that I've gotten for years, for the last 8 years straight. You feel me? Just in everyday life, wherever I go, just somehow, always, same thing. And it's even worse, you know what I'm saying, if I don't have access to platforms. And now we know how they're scheming to try to like steal. You know, man, everybody know they've been attacking my platforms for years, but now as like the more facts and truth come out, then the less shame they're having. And you know, this whole situation, I've been talking about this since before, you know, 2020 ever got here. And you know, it's becoming more and more, you feel me, like you know, intrusive. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, you know what I mean, everybody know all my houses compromised, you feel me, like by these celebs connected with structures who had the same interests as the beast. You know what I'm saying? They had the same interests as the beast. And it's like, in spite of all rational reasoning that they have to pursue the kind of things that they're doing in my life to others, they still coming after me only. You feel me? In spite of my blamelessness and everything. So I'm in a position where I can display my talent. You know what I'm saying? My talent is undebatable. I'm in a where I can display my talent. They're trying to stop that because that might expose the beast. You see? This goes back to the extensions of the beast. The extensions of the beast are those who, you know, are attacking the Lord, trying to counsel the Lord. And his extensions, you see what I'm saying? The extensions of the Lord are like Eli and those, you know what I'm saying, attached to Eli. You feel me? And the extensions of the beast is the opposite of the Lord. And his extensions, you feel me? And his source is the devil, who's the opposite of God. You see how it is? So you see what's going on here. You know, it's a massive thing. And it's been going on for decades. You know what I'm saying? That it's still going on now. You know, that's why they place blame on people who they're not trying to, you know, correct about the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because they're on there's unity. They're on like they're extensions of the beast, which is also the devil. You know, they don't have any interest in making the situation right. Only in silencing the witness. You know. So now, like I was saying, it's getting more and more crazy. And you know, everybody know my platform's been under attack for years. Back then it was kind of like shadowy and all that. Now, you know, then it got to the point where it's like, yeah, I'm doing this. You know, like it was kind of like, you know, it's like it goes, you know what I'm saying? It changes, you know, intensity. Put it like that. And now we're at a time where the intensity higher. And that's right here is proof that the situation was indeed premeditated. You feel me? It was indeed a pre-contemplated racial and religion-based hate crime. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, you know what I'm saying? You know, all right, we know like all my homes get compromised and I get stalked, killed. It's the same thing. Stalking, killing, you know. And once they compromise, they forever there for as long as I'm there. And, you know, that's what's been happening for years. You know, and so knowing that, the structures were informed every time over the, you know, since in 2019 all the way to now. You know, every transition I ever had, the structures were informed beforehand. You know, and everyone still had the same thing happen anyway after the structures were informed. You know, and after that happens, then you getting stalked by shadow entities that's connected to envious, larcenous celebs and things like that who don't care or have your best interest in mind. So anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? What they can do. You know, and I've seen it. You know, I've been living it. It happens, and so much has happened in such quick succession that you even if you know, capture the situation and show it to the whole world, then before you know it, you got to talk about something new just happened. You know, and it's so many, it's like a vor. You know, so much. You know, so much happens in a short amount of time. You know, for so long. Actually, it's a prolonged amount of time, but you know. in the eyes of some, it might be short, you know, but going through it, you feel every second of these kind of torture where you fighting for your life the whole time. And now for me to see how all of that seemed to be going by the wayside, you know what I'm saying? While they still looking for ways to continue and complete the crime anyway, in spite of global illumination and national illumination, you know what I'm saying, for years and years, you know. They still trying to find ways to complete it. They bombard me with a whole bunch of things, you know, with a bunch of trying to manipulate me, you know what I'm saying, out of my ministry. They still trying to manipulate me out of my ministry. Some people claim Christianity. That's not Christian. God ain't divided against himself, you know. If I'm trying to preserve my platforms and ministry for God, and you trying to make me stop speaking the truth of God, when God showed that, hey, it's me doing this, you know, directly, that's not godly or of God. You know, that's deception. You know. And so I've been going through this all for so long, you know, and I've been talking about this longer than, you know, for a longer time, you know what I'm saying, before our circumstance was anything like it is now. And I was saying that very kind of statement 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you know what I'm saying? So that's telling you the longevity of this hate crime, you know. And you know, rather than justice or the preservation of my godly legacy, rather, you know, it's like more and more and more hatred, violence, you know, and evil is being used, is good, you know, to justify counseling Elijah anyway. You know what I'm saying? You see how they doing it? It's like it was all premeditated, pre-planned by the Baphomet beast, you know what I'm saying? The Babylonian Baphomet, you know, all of that, you know, darkness, anti-God stuff. They was using this situation in history to complete what they were already planning in the first place. And that's why, you know, there's no action, you know what I'm saying, taken on anybody who are indisputably, you know what I'm saying, against God like that, to where they torture, you know, an innocent person day and night, like, you know, for being a great artist, you know what I'm saying, and so their favorites can have that person's art, you know, and, you know, that person's identity, you know, stuff like that. So that's happening all the time. You know, simultaneous to the torture, you know, how they try, then while structures also trying to counsel me and silence me, you know, with these type of things I've been going through for years now, you know, it's all, you know, same, it's all a part of the same picture, you know. And so it's like, my life the only one still suffering behind something I prevented years ago already. And that's not even being recognized. And I mean, me being a person, the only thing I did all I was supposed to do and could have did. You know what I'm saying? But yet somehow they're still here imposing this same agenda on my life. And, you know, it's the strangest thing. Like, I don't know, I just felt like I should have had, you know, I should have more. I mean, and you know, that brings me to another thing, you know, as far as like help again with the situation. You know, I mean, you know, some people would try to like liken Ellie, you know what I'm saying, to like activists, things like that. But then, I mean, it's not really a sufficient or a fitting term, you know, to describe Ellie, for the simple fact that, you know, in 2000, way back in 14, you know, when all this stuff was happening, the same thing, been the same energy the whole time, all the way back, you know, that time, I mean, all the way, you know, back then, like, especially when this stuff, I mean, of course, I had zero knowledge of any of the kind of things who they say, you know, that they say are attacking. I didn't even suspect racism was involved. You know, I mean, I didn't see the world like that. You know, I was looking at the world spiritually. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, I didn't see it like that, you know. now the pieces coming together for me. But I didn't see it like that, back then especially, and there was absolutely no violence, aside from things that people were trying to try to, force upon my life through me being attacked. There was nothing in my steps, all the way from back then to, these years that would make a person feel as though, I was a threat to society or anything like that. That's just not true. It never was. And so it's weird, this whole time I've been living Christian, like really, the whole time. And I know whoever seen me, And if somebody sees something like this, the Bible tells you, just like you see people, innocents, defenseless defenseless people being crushed and stepped on for no reason, just so other people can have their ideas and stuff like that. You see things like that happening to innocent people in person. And if anybody see that kind of situation and get upset about it, then all of a sudden the person who was being bullied, for unprovoked by other people, it could be a varying race. You feel me? They're bullying, torturing, just crushing and stomping on the person, so somebody can have their possessions for many years and years at a time. Then that person don't just become like, the person who it's happening to. If somebody see that and be like, hey, stop it. That's not right. Or then, that person don't all of a sudden just become some giant cult leader or something like that. Some creepy cult leader or some, super, militant, racist, anti-racist, person, like something worthy of them to justify attacking anyway. This time shamelessly or overtly, in addition to what's been happening covertly the whole time, all these years. You see what it is? Like, mislabeling you. On the false pretenses. So everybody know the power of God that's on Elijah's life. You feel me? At this point. So, it don't make no never mind. But it's just the principle of the situation. You feel me? Like, it's the principle of the situation. Like, so you see it's an agenda, a premeditated agenda, and it's starting to like become more and more and more clear, and it's not something that you bring on yourself. If somebody else sees something, you got something that they want, artistically or style wise, and they feel like it'll make a nice addition to who they think they are themselves, and they'll literally try to kill you, and get help from the leading structures, to murder somebody, then larceny something that they thought of or originated. All in one breath, in one stroke, all in one, move, for all year long, like entire years straight, whether the person is aware or not aware. It's not a natural situation. So this is a normal reaction to an abnormal event. And so you can pretty much, think of how, what's going on when you see things like, my like threatening my devices and things like that. Of course, my stuff had been attacked several times through the years, regardless of what type of brand I had. It don't matter, what it was. It just always found a way. And now I understand now they had higher up, help to destroy an innocent person, a child, and then absorb their pieces, And it's unbelievable. Situations still go on, with everybody knowing about it. And so everything they're doing in my life now is still to accomplish that same result. And as I made it very clear, I don't care what's going on around me in the world. You feel me? As long as I'm here, I'm defending my ministry, my legacy that I create with my art. And I'm gonna stand firm in my faith in God. And I do and listen to what the Spirit say of God. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about nothing else. You feel me? Going on around me. You know what I'm saying? That's the end of the discussion. You feel me? That's it. You feel me? That's it. Because anything you do for God is towards something larger than yourself. And just because certain people who is not for, you know what I'm saying, don't really believe, in your struggle, the things you've gone through with what God assigned to you, that they don't understand because they didn't write that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? They don't understand it because they didn't create that. They didn't make that. You feel me? They don't understand it because it wasn't them. You know what I'm saying? So they can't really feel that. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand, not far enough is too far for them. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Not far enough is too far for them. This situation is not like my life is not this situation is not a statue, if you feel what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's not a statue. This is a very adult moving situation. It's like my book ain't closed yet. The situation's still going. I'm never going to accept the fact, that something like this cannot have justice in a place under God. I'm never going to sit back and accept that, ever. You feel me? Never. You know what I'm saying? So that's dead. You feel me? Don't think that. You know what I'm saying? I'm never a time ever will come where I will accept this. You know what I'm saying? What's happened in my life, legacy and things, even at one point that I didn't consent, then it happened. At one point, then it happened. And I'm not okay with it still, no matter how much time is passing. You feel me? That's just facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm not changing nothing like that, especially about my life until, things change about the lives of those who everybody say responsible for this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense. I got more riding on my situation and what I'm fighting for than that person is even worth. You feel me? In the kingdom of God, or worthless as teachers regarding the faith. You feel me? It's not no equal situation. You can't counsel me like you can't counsel an elephant with an ant. That's this kind of situation. You feel me? They trying to use an ant to counsel an elephant. You know what I'm saying? No, this is way. Come on, Ellie. It's so much been going on recently. You feel me? That's the kind of situation. You see somebody premeditated this whole thing. Think about it. What they're doing. Like, they premeditated all of this. I'm way more important to God than I am. You know what I'm saying? And my purpose was far larger. Even if you see just a fossil of it, the miracles that we see all day, every day, for those that, those good people or those people of God, they get the opportunity to see it when they get to see it, when they see me, miracles of God, all the time. Hopefully, it's people that's of God, that's also saints and everybody, and people like y'all, that see this. I hope it's not just, nobody trying to keep a container on God like that, because that right there is antichrist. You know what I'm saying? And that's the permanent, that's anti-God. Anti-Christian, definitely. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You don't put no lid on the gospel. Nobody has the authority, you know what I'm saying, nobody has the authority to silence God. You know what I'm saying? Or to put a hamper on God, who is God. God is God. Something that God's work is doing is sacred, holy. Let no man, you feel me? And let God be true and every man be a liar. They got things horribly disproportionate. You feel me? You can't even be on a pedestal high enough, you know what I'm saying, to be able to make any kind of choice over God. God is God. The Bible does that already. You feel me? No man has any, you know what I'm saying, can come close at all to any choices over God. They can make choices over criminals though. You feel me? Something wrong if that's not happening. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, not God. You know what I'm saying? And it's a weird situation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know, you know, so I know for like friends, those people that's of God, and, you know, people that's, you know, receptive and they like, and they heart open to the light. You know, and they receptive to the light. And they just like shut the light down like that. You know, people like that, yeah, man, I talk about, you know, I was talking about some of the miracles and things, you know, that how God, you know, could have restored the lands and things, man. It's amazing. Possibilities were endless. You know, everything from the spontaneous, you know, rainforest / vegetable orchard type garden, you know, fruits and, you know, just spontaneous things that just, you know, because Eli wasn't a musician. You feel me? Wasn't gonna be a musician, you know, by context. Music was just one tool for restoration. You feel me? The time of Eli wasn't supposed to be, you know, only something like that. You know, the miracles. I did like a lecture about the miracles. You know how the farmers, you know, and, you know, everybody would have loved, you know, the blessings, you know, God was gonna do. You know, like it was, I mean, miracle crop growth, like on the spot, you know, tons of different type of things. You know, man, the what is it? The miracle of the land. How the land, you know, like say if you have like a store and then you got like some apartments and you got, you know, there's a couple feet of space in between, and God give Ellie the power, and then you get like 100 yards, you feel me, like in between, you know, out of nowhere, just extra land, like restoration, you feel me, give you new space, land, all random places, you know, just, you know, things, you know, God was really gonna build up society. You know, there's so many different ways, you know, healing, of course, healing people and, you know, the sick and all that, and that still has happened. You know, that still has happened and happens, you know, as God see fit. You know, so some things still happen. Everybody see the cosmic, you know, the cosmic signs and wonders all the time. You know, I've explained and broken down that to people. Revelation 12 in effect as we speak. Revelation 13 in effect, you know, as we speak. You know, we're there right now in Revelations. I mean, there's so much. I think I'm gonna wrap this one up though with I mean, I don't really share, you know, my life story to complain, but I mean, I want people to know that the times in which we live are very real, and it's happening. Like, you know, this is happening to Elijah, so you know that the time is real short. You know what I'm saying? Like, the devil's time is getting shorter, you know. I mean, the Lord is soon to come back, and that's the one to look out for. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is soon to come back.